how to create a timeless yet unique design for your brand. In this video, we will talk about what makes the design truly last for ages and what makes the design fade out very quickly. So first of all, if you have a brand, congrats. If you don't have a brand yet, if you are a designer, this video also will be helpful if you are looking to design something for your clients, to make sure that whenever you are creating a piece of art, that it not only serves the purpose of being artistic, but also functional. So when we are talking about design and when we are talking about timeless approach, we have a few things that play a role. And one of them is, of course, we observe top brands, we observe what currently happens in the niche, we look at the leaders, how did they make it to the level where they are, and how did their design develop? What were the changes through the years? So by doing that, we actually also see what changes, how people changed during those years, because the brand adapts its design to the needs of people. So it depends, of course, who is the target audience, and based on that we also can see and predict which design will last for how long, because of course trends are working in a repetitive way. We always have things that are coming back from past because the history repeats itself, it's coming with the cycles. So whenever something is trending, we probably have seen similar trend already years ago, people forgot, and then it comes again and it looks fresh and new, a little bit adapted to the current circumstances, and this is how we see trends rising. It's a good way to ride the wave of the trend, to make sure that you have more exposure, but your design should never be based on the trends only. So in this video, I will share with you a few tips that makes the brand timeless in its unique way. There are a few things that are currently very important. So first of all, simplicity. When we are talking about brands that stand out and they last for years, because they are not following trends, they are simple yet elegant. So whenever we are creating designs, make sure that you don't use overcrowded, complicated, detailed designs, because who knows, the trend comes and we are back to the minimalism. Overall, people really like timeless minimalism because it makes your brain focus on one focal point. So when we have designs, we are working with objects, we are working with meanings around them, we are working with stories around them. And when we are choosing to work with minimalism, just means that we are focusing at one thing at one time. And this is the best approach, that what I have noticed works the best. Why do all luxury brands use minimalism? Because this gives you truly peace of mind and drives your attention to one certain point. That's basically it. Now focus on premium and high quality materials if you are doing any type of design, of course, because this will be timeless. When we are using things or some trendy materials in our works, maybe textures, you will see that with the time of AI, we currently have a lot of gradients are coming back, textures like grains, textures that are more like fluid, but this will also go away pretty fast once the AI time has passed and we are back to the basics. A good tip that I can give you here is get inspired by nature, because organic objects, things that are in nature, are timeless. Whenever we see things like trees, grass, sky, sea, all those stone materials, they will never go out of the time just because we see them all the time in nature. They cannot disappear. So everything that we as people perceive natural and we can find inspiration there, organic shapes, you can get inspired by sea cultures, for example. You can see the shell, certain fishes or whatever, something that is already existing in the sea, that will not only make our brain look and feel that it is something that we are already familiar with, but the shape itself, because it's a living object, it will look innovative yet inspiring to the people who potentially might find inspiration to use it in their works. We can also find inspiration in animals. We can find inspiration in symmetry. If you can see a lot of natural objects, they are naturally having a symmetry, a vertical line where they are being mirrored. So when we are looking at something that looks symmetrical, not only it gives us a sense of confidence, but also a sense that this has been here for ages. Look at most of the luxury brands commercials. Bulgari uses that a lot. If we are having a sense of symmetry, it gives us a feel that the object has confidence. Something that looks and feels timeless always have a sense of confidence. It has this feel like I have been here for ages, and I'm not going anywhere else. So keep it simple, use clean lines and avoid gimmicks in your work, and get inspired by nature. Not only you can get inspired in nature for the shapes, but also for the colors. Again, things that we come across in nature like green tones, earthy tones, the color blue in all its different tints, the color of brown, those things will always look for us familiar. So those things are less to be considered as trendy or not stable. They will not fade away anytime soon, because again, we see it and it's in our nature, in our human nature, to see those things as already something that has been proven by time. So use those colors if you want your brand to look and feel more timeless. Now, a good thing to do something is to do market research. Again, look at your competitors and especially get inspired by those people who are already at the top. Those brands who are already doing well, what are they doing? Because it's not a coincidence that they are doing that good. So look at the brands that are proven by time and get inspired by them. If you want to be the best in the niche, get inspired by people who are the best in the niche and adapt it to your brand, so that you can also see how are they achieving what they have done by using and testing the time, of course, testing this timelessness every now and then. And of course, brands who are bigger, they have bigger budgets, bigger investments, to make sure that they are testing every object, every element of their brand, that it suits their target audience. Now, when we are creating designs, of course, we are looking for something that not only looks and feels artistic or it looks and feels pretty, but it also has to serve a function. Design has three main goals. We have educational, we have inspiring action, and we have a simple call to action. So design should be targeting one of those. So if your design has one of them, probably it is good. It means that you have thought of how the user experience will be after getting in touch with the object that you have designed. So user-centric design, of course, every single time will win over something that is going with the trend, because you are focusing on the customers. You are focusing on their needs, their feels, their emotions with your brand. And another cool strategy that I want you actually to look at is using storytelling in your designs. Because of course, you know, I love working with archetypes, and this strategy alone leaves you a lot of room and a lot of space for creativity, because you know in which direction your customer thinks, in which direction do they have their needs, how can I get their needs met with my design. So use archetypes to define your own brand story. There are 12 archetypes and a lot of luxury brands over and over again using them in their commercials. They are using it to tell a certain story. And of course, when we have a story, you can have all the things changing in the world, but the story will stay forever. So use per product launch a certain story that you're going to tell to your people in a certain archetype style. You can have as a brand many archetypes, especially depending what is your product targeting. Basically, when we're choosing one archetype, we're making sure that the brand is consistent in its messaging across all the media of the brand when it comes to certain product launch or certain commercial. So what happens is when we are using archetypes to tell our story, we are not only becoming timeless in terms of what our audience wants, because per archetype we have per audience desires, shadows, needs, wants, and of course the actual goal of what the person might want when it's interacting with your brand product. Look at the brand like Cartier, for example. They have a lover archetype, so they are constantly telling a story of love, of something that is full of emotions. When you're choosing your jewelry item, you are creating a memory that is timeless and that lasts forever in your heart. So of course those things, they will never fade away, because we all as people, we have three main desires in life. We have love, health, and money. So your brand story in your design and your commercials should also tell a story about that. It can be challenging in the beginning, but I highly recommend finding out your archetypes. Typically, a brand has 3 archetypes that they can use and mix between each other to tell a story in a cohesive and very interactive way. And I have a gift for you if you are wanting to know more about branding. I have a free class in my bio. It's called The Only Branding Strategy You Need to Know. It has everything that I know about branding. It's like a blueprint that helps you further if you are just starting out, and just gives you an idea how to brand things that they are looking and feeling expensive.